First full day as a handyman, January 2nd, 2017 was a super nerve-wracking day. So what happened is I had a week's worth of work booked out for the first week in January 2017, going full-time. If you guys missed the whole story leading up to that, watch the previous two videos. This is video number 3 of my 100-day video challenge. And the whole thought or ethos of this video is to kind of impart knowledge on you guys that might just be starting out. Maybe you've been in business for a little while. We're going to kind of roll back the time back to 2017 when I first started. So my very first job, I went out and looked at it somewhere in the middle of December. This client reached out to me off of Yelp, was advertising on Yelp. They reached out to me and they had one light in their kitchen that actually worked. So for the last 3 years, they only had one light in their kitchen that worked. So I went there was all these 4-inch can lights over their kitchen island. And there was probably about 6 or 7 of them, and only one has worked in the last 3 years. So it was super dark in that kitchen. So what they wanted me to do was to basically fix them, make those lights work, right? So my thought was I would convert those 4-inch can lights to LED light trims. I had done that plenty of times before. I've had training in electrical, in the past, and I kind of felt pretty confident with that. So I'm okay. Easy peasy, take the light bulb out, we'll put the 4-inch can light trims in there. I ended up, I estimated this job somewhere in the middle of December, did it first day, January 2nd of 2017. Went there, had the light trims, felt really good about it, and right when I got up into there, I pulled the light bulb out, and it was actually a 12-volt halogen bulb. So I'm like, what's going on here? Like, for one, this isn't the same connection as a 120-volt socket to, hook my LED light trims up to. What's going on? So I ended up measuring the voltage, and I found out I had 12 volts up there. And I'm like, well, that's not correct. What's going on here? And I had no clue what was going on. So what I ended up doing is I went out to my truck and I actually pulled up a YouTube video, looking up what's going on. I'm getting 12 volts at the can light. What's going on? And what I ended up finding out, which probably some of you guys are already like, oh yeah, it's a ballast, Alan, it's a ballast, right? But you don't know what you don't know, right? So learned something new that day. Found out that there was a ballast that controlled this that basically knocked the voltage down from 120 down to 12 volts. So I tried pulling the can light out, but the wires that were hooking to the can light were not long enough to let the whole can light housing come out of the attic. So I had to go up in the attic, and the attic was like this big. So I was like crawling in there, and then as I was taking it apart, I was watching YouTube videos up in this person's attic, trying to figure out what to do, which wires to cut, which ones to connect. And I was super nervous at that job. But at the end of the day, I got it all done. We basically neutered those ballasts, hooked 120 volts straight up to the wires, and installed my can light trims. And the client was super happy because it was the first time they had lights in their kitchen for 3 years. So it was fantastic, really quite the transformation of a job. I'll see if I can find a picture of that. I don't think I can. But that was pretty awesome. So that was day 1, and I made $500 on that job, right? Because here in California, you can only do $500 per project, including labor and materials. So I was super concerned about that when I first started out. So I basically sold every job for $500. That was quite the deal. But I was super stoked because at my previous job, I was only making whatever it was, 180 bucks a day or whatever it was. I just made $500 in a day. I was stoked, man. I'm like, yes, this handyman thing, I'm gonna be rich. So that was my very first day. My second day was probably pretty close to worse. I wasn't as nervous, but the job definitely went south. So the second day, January 3rd, 2017, was quite the day. It ended up raining that day, and I had sold a job where one of our clients that reached out to us found us on Yelp. He had gotten targeted by the city, and they came out and they put flags on all of his sprinklers that were leaking, and he needed to replace them. So I'm like, sprinklers, that's easy, right? You just unscrew them, screw the new one in, easy peasy. Well, this was what happened. Okay, it's completely raining this day, but I'm like, I still got to go out and do it because I got to go make some money. Again, as you can guess, I sold this job for $500. And what I had quoted for this was just the regular type sprinklers that you screw down, right? Well, I get in there, and these things are those massive pop-up jets sprinklers. And I'm like, what's going on? Again, I've never seen that again, right? So I start researching on YouTube and what's going on. And what I found was like, okay, this is a different style of sprinkler that I've ever encountered. So I try to unscrew, it doesn't unscrew. And so I start digging around it, and I find that, and you guys probably know exactly what's going on. I find the sprinkler line going in the side of the sprinkler housing. So I'm like, what is going on here? So I'm like digging, it's muddy because it's raining like crazy. I'm digging, I end up cutting that PVC pipe, finally getting the sprinkler out. Actually, I think the first one I dug a massive elongated hole so I could actually spin it off of the pipe. Like, there's a PVC pipe come here and the sprinkler is right here, and I basically turned it off because it's on with 1/2 inch threads or 3/4 inch threads, whatever it is. But what I could have done is I could have just cut that PVC pipe and brought the whole thing out. But I think I dug a massive trench so that I could spin that puppy out while it's pouring rain. Once I get it out, now I actually have to locate the new sprinkler head. Okay, so I'm like going to Home Depot, going to Lowe's, going to sprinkler places, going to Ferguson, going everywhere I can think to find this dang sprinkler. And I think I replaced maybe 10 of those sprinklers that day. It was absolutely miserable. I was super muddy, super soaked. I don't even think I had a rain suit on that day, but I got all 10 of them replaced. I probably finished right at like 5 o'clock, so I started at 8, ended at 5. Quite the day. Learned a whole heck of a lot. Tore up this guy's front yard, but we got his sprinklers replaced. Not that he needed them that day because it was pouring down rain, but I think that's kind of been the ethos of kind of how my business has run, is you don't have to know everything, but you have to know where to go to find the answers. I love, my metal shop teacher in high school always said that. True wisdom is not having all the answers, but it's knowing who to go to or who to ask questions to find those right answers. I think that's what's more important. So it's kind of crazy thinking about, as I'm doing this video challenge, kind of going back to 2017 when I first started, is where our business was and where it is today. Today we got 2 vans just like this. We got another one just like this sitting right over there. We got 2 trucks and a little estimator car. So it's pretty amazing what can happen with time if you continue to devote yourself. Definitely don't do things that you don't feel confident in doing. The thing about me is I've always felt confident that even if I don't know how to do something, I can figure out how to get it done. And it's very important to have that kind of mentality. If you are questioning yourself and not sure if you can, definitely don't mess with electrical, because you could definitely start some fires and cause some problems. But those are kind of the 2 big first days of my handyman business. It's kind of interesting going through those and thinking back on those. But I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on those 2 days. Drop a comment in the comment section below with what your thoughts are. If you ever had a day like that, I would love to hear it. And we will catch you guys on day number 4, which is tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to say. So today's date is September 6th, 2023, to give you kind of a time frame, right? September 6th, 2023, day 3 of my 100 video challenge. Also, this is day 3 of having our general manager basically managing the business. So I have now been promoted to CEO. So my role in Honestly Handyman is marketing, finances, and company culture. And I'm working with our general manager probably for the next 3 months, for a few hours each day, basically helping him understand what a general manager does and basically passing that system and that process over to him. Another thing that I'm really devoted to is I run a coaching and consulting business. So I help people just like you guys watching this video here start and grow their handyman business. So if you're interested in that, you can set up a free call with me at handymanjourney.com. There's also a free ebook over there that you can definitely download. We have a bunch of books on Amazon as well as far as marketing, pricing, and sales. You guys can check that out as well. All those will be in the description below, but we will catch you guys on day 4, which will be tomorrow. Have a good day, guys.